Hi everyone, this is Sister K Malapo here. I hope you guys are doing well. This day, I hope everything goes well in your lives, especially this year 2021, a very bright new year, a year of change. Many people say 2020 is going to be a year of universal change, and I can't wait to see that universal change happening. And wow, it's such a happy moment for me. It will be a happy moment for me, because people will get back to who they are. You understand? And please, guys, if you want more videos, please subscribe on my YouTube channel, and you'll get more updates often. And I'll be updating often, guys, with a lot of things that are happening within Africa and the African diaspora. So another interesting issue that I have here in Africa is about polygamy. So many people say polygamy is the only way. Polygamy is a way, it's a way. I even see in most of my Facebook friends posting about it, to say that a lot of things happening there. Polygamy is the only way because it has been done by our ancestors. So we should go back to that root. So, okay, fine. I agree that it might be the only way. It might be the only way. But think of the consequences of today's era. Polygamy of today, it is not the way. Really, guys, polygamy in terms of the modern era, it is not the way. Why I'm saying this? Why I'm saying it is not a way? Yesterday it was. Back in those days when our ancestors lived, it was the way. Because many people went into polygamous marriage for materialistic, or even some for spiritual reasons. Many went there because they say they want to unite with family. Each and everyone now has a husband and has a father, which is something that is something that we lack today. So why is today is not really applicable? If you can look at the things right now, most men have been taught to be more sexualized before they get married, before they get serious with their lives. Many men are taught to become players, to play with women's hearts, so that they can know, they can understand how is a woman like. Many women are not united with one another. We are not united as women. We hate one another. We can go to a point whereby we spite one another using a man. We can even try to involve our children within this whole polygamous space to spite another woman. That's how we are as women, actually. Women of these days, we are like that. Unless we change our own mindset to say that polygamy is for family use. It is not about fighting for your own man, fighting for your own husband, for your husband to give you the attention. No, polygamy, it doesn't work like that. Polygamy, it doesn't work like that. It's about equality, There will be some point that in polygamy, a guy will give more attention to the next woman than the other woman. It is possible. It is that way. One thing I've realized, many men, they say they will love women equally. I find it as a lie. It's a lie. It's a lie. I don't agree with that. Many men, they will say they will treat women equally once they get into a polygamous relationship. Yes, they will treat them equally, but they won't love them equally. That's the problem. And most men remember that men naturally are not emotional beings like us women. So imagine that you get into a polygamous marriage for emotional reasons because you love him. What will happen into the marriage in particular? What will happen to you, your own self-esteem? So and also what I've been thinking spiritually, polygamy, it is not well structured spiritually in today's era. Remember, as people, as both men and women, we come from previous relationships. We come from previous sexual or romantic relationships. So as for you back then, it is the way you experienced it. And now you are into this marriage. Obviously, during the time you were in a relationship with that particular person or with your ex-boyfriend or ex-husband, obviously there are some sexual energies encountered. You guys had sex, and obviously during that time you guys exchanged energies. Sex is not physical, but is also spiritual as well. Whatever that you are doing in your previous relationships, there are some people that come from traumatic previous relationships. Obviously, that kind of trauma that you'll bring it into the marriage. What will happen? What will happen? Obviously, whatever you have done with that person, you become that person in automatic. You take half of that person's energy. So I don't like the fact that we didn't know all along about this. Only recently we know that sex is spiritual, and the kind of society we live in, we are being encouraged to have sex every now and then. And you can see that is why there's so many teenage pregnancy going around here, especially in South Africa. It's so high, so high. But anyways, we'll get to that point. We'll get to that point. What I'm trying to say is polygamy, it is not for today's era, because men of today are sexualized. Women of today are ununited. They are also emotional when they have to think of polygamy. So women of today prefer one guy, you understand, because of the previous relationships. We've been in previous relationships, the guys that we've been with, traumatic experiences. Now we bring it, it's gonna be a problem. For a man, I don't think it would be much a bigger problem, but for a woman it is a bigger problem. And the thing about this whole thing, it is many men think polygamy it is for themselves. Many men think that polygamy is for them, but they don't know polygamy is both for a man and a woman. Polygamy is not about you. And cheating on your woman is not about polygamy. Really, there's no polygamy in that. That's just selfishness. I call it selfishness because you didn't tell a woman that you'll be dating another woman, you'll be um sleeping with her and all that. But personally, you are just cheating on her. There's a difference between cheating on a woman and being in a polygamous relationship. There's a difference between cheating on your wife and also informing her that you want a second wife. But either way, your wife is the one that actually has to accept the first that you should have the other wife before you go on with the procedure to say that you going to get a wife. Even in the Bible, it's been saying that, in some biblical verses, women as well were given they were given the obligation to search the woman, the other wife, for their husbands. It was not about for a man to go out and hunt and say, I want this woman, I want her. No, you understand? A woman has to be the one to choose, because this is for variety of reasons. Polygamy, it was meant for the family. It was meant that maybe something it's something, it's not there in the house, it's not there in the household. Something is lacking. Maybe the woman is unable to get pregnant, so they get another woman for her to get pregnant for the man. You understand? Yeah. So in such instances, she will know that, okay, I'm here in this polygamous marriage because I want to boy him a child. You understand? I'm gonna boy him a child, and that's it. So it was nothing of that such of say love or romance. It was not. But today's era, it's all about attention. It's all about love. And today's era, many of us are very sensitive human beings. Many people in today's era are going through depression, psychological disorders. There's so many things sensitive issues, psychological issues. This world of today is all about psychology. Honestly, it's all about psychology. Many of us are traumatized, both men and women. We are going through a lot of psychological trauma. We are going through a lot of, I can say, a lot of hurt. In today's world, it's not as pure as back then. Polygamy was meant for virgins. Polygamy was not meant for non-virgins. If you're a non-virgin and you want to get into a polygamy, you should think twice. Polygamy was meant for virginity, and polygamy valued virginity more than non-virginity. But today, in today's world, virginity, it doesn't really matter anymore. You can get into polygamy even if you're not a virgin. So hey guys, I don't know, that is a disaster. That is a recipe for a disaster, because we'll be having spirits outside there. We come with them in our marriage, and then now our marriage is breaking up because of the spirits that we bring in here. Think of it. It's the same thing. Maybe you cheat on your husband, you cheat on your wife. The kind of spirits you get from other people, you bring them into your marriage. What will happen? So guys, we should be careful. you know Even in the Bible, it says that a man leaves his house, and a woman leaves her own house, her own home. A man leaves his own home and to unite with his wife. Same thing with the wife, to unite with her husband. Leaves her own mother, her own father. The man leaves his own mother and his own father to unite with his wife and to make into one item or one animal. So the same here with polygamy. Whatever you do, guys, it's you guys are one. You guys are one animal. You understand? One animal, which means virginity is something very important. Virginity is what's needed. In both men and women, we both need to be spiritually and sexually pure before we say you want polygamous marriage. Otherwise, if you want polygamous marriage, even after you had sex, then this whole thing now is not polygamy anymore. It's sex and womanizing. That's it. That's it. There's nothing special about polygamy, guys. Let us stop entertaining things that we know that this thing will never help us solve issues within the African continent. I'm not against polygamy, but I'm against how men force it, especially woke African men. They force it to say it shall be the only way. Themselves, they are not sexually pure. They are not sexually pure. They're not virgins. They're not spiritually pure. How can we come and have a polygamous marriage? Come on, guys, we should think twice. Many men of today think of themselves and do not think of other people. Many men of today think of themselves because they are the head of the house, but they don't want to think of the wife. They don't want to think of the children. How are they feeling if he say he wants a polygamous marriage? This whole thing of head of the house, men have taken it to the extreme. Everything now is about them. It's not about the women anymore. Women back then were treated like queens. Women back then were treated like covenants, or like people say in or let's say the hashtag woke community says goddesses. I don't know. I don't see. I don't know. They say goddesses. I don't know. I don't know about this whole concept of a man being a god or a woman being goddess. I don't know that, but only I know that a woman is a covenant. It's a covenant to a spiritual realm. So now, many men treat women like they are nothing these days. They don't listen to their women. How is it gonna be in polygamy? How is it gonna be in polygamy while men are being encouraged to play with women's hearts, when men young as 20 years are being encouraged to sleep around first before they get to settle down? That question, I need the society to answer it first, because this society that we live in, it is purely damaged. It is purely damaged. We need to fix ourselves as people, especially as Africans. Polygamy shall be the way, but it cannot be the only way to whatever that we are facing. I don't think polygamy would really solve the issues of Africa right now, especially the spiritual issues, because um this whole thing of polygamy, maybe in the next lifetime it will happen, but not in this lifetime. Let us be realistic, guys, not in this lifetime, because we have already contracted energies. I'm being realistic. Many of us, especially when virginity is not important in this day and age, what the heck? What the heck? Unless for those who are virgins, unless who are those who are virgins, then it you can consider it. But most of us are non-virgins. Most of us have already have sexual encounters with other people. How would we is selfish how selfish would it be when we get into a polygamous marriage and transfer all the energies to the marriage? What will happen spiritually? So we should be careful, guys. We should be careful. If you say you want polygamy, especially to men, when they sleep with other women, they should make sure the woman is the one, like, has the same covenant, has the same covenant spirit. Everything is the same. Let's just sleep around, and then you sleep with that woman. You don't even know her spiritual background. You don't even know what she had encountered. So you see, then you say you want polygamy. Like, really? Really? Guys, let us be realistic. Polygamy shall not be the only way to solve the societal problems. I think this one should be the last to be taken into consideration, really, because it doesn't do anything. What we need to focus on right now is we need to focus on uplifting, elevating our spiritual path, elevating our spiritual awakening. Or whether the kind of spirit to use, I don't know personally. I don't want to say this one is a particular way, because if I force anyone to say this is a particular way how we do things, we do it is the same as immature. I find it very immature, and it's not a spiritual awakening, but stupidity. And it is stupidity, you see. So guys, let us think twice when you think of polygamy. Polygamy is not for all people. Polygamy is for specific people. Polygamy is for royalty, not for sex, not for womanizing. In polygamy, a woman is the one supposed to accept it first before a man says polygamy should be the one. Men should not dominate women when it comes to polygamy, and men should stop it to try and dominate women when it comes to polygamy. We also have rights to we are humans, we are human beings, we have feelings as well.